Joining me right now, Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer. Congressman, it's great to have you this weekend. Thanks so much for being here.
Great to be with you, Maria.
So what are you planning on doing here? You heard what Chuck Schumer said. They're not budging. They don't want any, qualifiers with raising the debt ceiling. They want it clean, and there will not be any discussion about areas to cut spending right now.
Well, Chuck should probably catch up with the rest of his team, Maria. While it appears that the rest of the leadership is writing in ink, Chuck is going to need a box of Crayolas. The president invited Kevin McCarthy over this week to have a discussion. They had a good discussion. It was the opening discussion. It's the beginning, hopefully, of many discussions. Chuck's still stuck on this thing about you show us yours and we'll show us ours. Fact is, under the rules, the Biden administration must produce their budget by the first Monday in February. That would be this Monday, Maria. They've already said they're not going to do that. They're going to produce their budget sometime in March. The way this works is we will then have 6 weeks after that within which Republicans can respond to that budget and actually provide ideas. This is the responsible, this is the reasonable and sensible way to do this. The American public expects us to do this, Maria, and it's going to be a negotiation not just on the debt limit. We're not going to allow the United States to default, but you can't tell me that we can't find some waste, we can't find some spending reforms within this budget that will put this country on a track so that not only this generation, but generations to come can enjoy the prosperity and the opportunity that this country is meant to offer.
I want to switch gears and ask you about something that seems much more troubling than that, and that is this Chinese balloon.
It's really important that we point out the Biden administration once again is stumbling through a major issue with one of our primary adversary right now in the world, the Chinese. This should be dealt with immediately. Kevin McCarthy obviously called for a briefing of the Gang of Eight. Why the Biden administration is dragging their feet dealing with a spy balloon that has been acknowledged to be owned by our chief adversary in the world, it baffles the mind, Maria.
Over and over again, we have seen this president and this administration be soft on China as they steal intellectual property, as they refuse to answer questions, simple questions about the origins of COVID-19. And now this Chinese spy balloon apparently surveilling American citizens. The House Oversight Committee is holding a hearing next week, this upcoming Wednesday, to probe big tech censorship of the Biden laptop story. And you've got lawyers now for Hunter Biden denying that they ever admitted that this infamous laptop is really Hunter Biden's laptop. Your thoughts on this? Is this president compromised because he and his family have taken in tens of millions of dollars from officials in China tied to the Communist Party?
Maria, Joe Biden and 51 intelligence officers who tried to tell us before the 2020 election there was nothing to see here. This is part of a Russian conspiracy. It's everything but what it is. Hunter Biden has admitted this is his computer. Now his lawyers are trying a whole new spin. We need to find out if and whether it is true, to what extent this administration is compromised by Hunter Biden's foreign dealings or dealings with foreign actors. And I have the utmost confidence in James Comer and Jim Jordan, who are now the chairs of our oversight and judiciary committees, respectively, to get to the bottom of this. It's time for the American people to understand what happened here. And it's time for Hunter Biden and the entire group to come clean about what was going on.
And yet, for 4 years, we heard your colleagues on the left talk about Russia, trying to come up with this story, which was a lie about Trump colluding with Russia. In fact, the real adversary was front and center, China. Why is it that the Democrats refuse to do anything about this?
Well, keep in mind, there are no bounds to their hypocrisy. Maria, when it comes to this issue, it looks like Democrats, and the good news is Nancy Pelosi's finally been fired from the House. You have new leadership in the House with Kevin McCarthy as our Speaker, a new Republican majority. It's close, which is good, because people will be able to talk. You might start to see Democrats who realize this is a losing proposition to just act like sheep and get behind this corrupt administration and all the lies that they tell. You might might start to see them come off that train and start to speak the truth to the American people. Time will tell, but right now they seem to have this mentality that no matter how big the lie, they need to defend the guy in the White House. At this point, we got to get to the truth.
Congressman, we're going to be watching your work. It's important. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Maria.